Let's see the recent maritime accidents. Gold Trans 308, a distressed coal barge, has run aground in an Indonesian national park. Since November 2nd, the coal barge Gold Trans 308 has been trapped on the shore of Alas Purwo National Park in Mungkar district, on Java's eastern edge. The hull leaked, the barge acquired a lot of list, and it was presumably grounded on purpose to avoid capsize and sinking. The MSC Shannon container ship caught fire in the Baltic, however the cruise was continued on November 9th. On November 7th, the MSC Shannon was at anchor in the western Gulf of Finland when a fire broke out in the engine room. The ship continued its cruise in the evening of November 8th, but at a slower pace, when the crew was able to fix and restart the engine. The ship was reportedly hauled in a northerly route, most likely to avoid congested maritime channels. She's still drifting, despite the presence of two CGSAR ships nearby. Grounding of the German ship Birgit G in Poland. The cargo ship Birgit G ran aground in the Świnoujście entrance, Poland, in front of a windmill landmark. The ship was apparently able to refloat on its own and berthed later that day. Mostrom, a Norwegian tanker, is stranded at Brunnsbadel. While approaching the Kiel Canal, Mostrom came into touch with a steel dolphin in New Lock Harbor, Brunnsbadel. In the portside cofferdam area, the ship's hull was hauled 3 meters above the waterline. The ship was still berthed at 13:30 UTC on November 8th. Storm batters general cargo ship Visai VCT-12 in Vietnam. In bad weather, the Vietnamese cargo ship Visai VCT-12 ran aground on Kua Lo Beach in Han Province, Gulf of Tonkin, Vietnam. When the storm hit, the ship was at anchor. The engine was started, but the ship couldn't hold up to the wind and waves. The container ship Rise Shine ran aground and split in two off the coast of Nakotka. In bad weather, the Rise Shine ran aground and split at 2 in Vostok Bay, west of Nakotka, Russia, Japan Sea. All 14 members of the crew were evacuated by helicopter and are unharmed. On board are 199 containers with consumer products such as car parts, printers, vacuum cleaners, diapers, and other items. As of 14:30 UTC on November 9th, the ship's AIS had been lost for the previous 12 hours. Supahang 628, a coastal cargo ship, sunk off the coast of Hong Kong, leaving 70 containers adrift. The cargo ship Supahang 628 drowned early on November 8 in Xinjiang Seas, and way from Hong Kong to Foshan, Guangdong, when her engine room flooded. 7 crew members were rescued, but 70 containers crashed overboard, putting the area's navigation in jeopardy. A container recovery effort is underway. Venus Harmony, a bulk ship, has run aground. Venus Harmony, a bulk carrier, has been aground in the Paraná River around the 408-kilometer mark since before 0830 on November 9th, believed to have run aground when unmooring at Rosario. The ship is carrying 25,000 tons of soybean meal that will be sent to Australia. As of 0240 on November 10th, she was still aground, with at least 2 tugs at her side. The tanker Samudra Sindo 38, which was carrying palm oil, went aground and had to be refloated in Indonesia. Tanker Samudra Sindo 38 carrying palm oil got aground on Tanjung Kaluang Beach, a pre-colonial tourist site. In the evening of November 8th, the tanker refloated, either on its own or with tug help, and began its trip. There has been no documented ecological disaster, and Kalimantan and the world are still alive. Passengers are rescued from a stranded sailboat by the Carnival cruise ship Breeze. On November 4th, about 1 a.m., the Carnival Breeze received a mayday call. The sailboat was carrying 2 persons and their 2 dogs in addition to the captain. The Association for Rescue at Sea's annual Capitol Hill event was inspired by this rescue effort. The Chinese bulk ship NS Qingdao was rerouted to South Africa because its cargo was generating harmful gases. When the NS Qingdao cargo grew wet during a discharge operation in rainy weather, it became unsteady. The ship went from Durban, in the Indian Ocean, to St. Helena Bay, on South Africa's Atlantic coast. The cargo will be placed into lighters, neutralized, and then stored on the beach. Singapore Bridge, a container ship, is crippled and drifting in the Bay of Bengal. Singapore Bridge, EMO 9,224,348, has been floating in the Bay of Bengal since November 7th, and has been on the move for a short time on November 9th, before returning to Nuuk. The ETA for the flight from Port Klang, Malaysia, to Mumbai, India, was originally set for November 5, however it was pushed back to November 13. MSC3 Est, Nuuk huge container ship is in difficulties off the coast of South Africa, and is now being towed. The MSC3 Est, Nuuk has been adrift since the morning of November 10, west of Port Elizabeth, South Africa, on its way from Singapore to Tema, Ghana, with an ETA of November 16. The source of the problem is unknown. Towed to Port Elizabeth by the SAR tug SA Amandla, the destination was modified from Tema to Port Elizabeth. Hangsheng 88, a Chinese cargo ship, sunk in the South China Sea, with 13 crew members saved. The cargo ship Hangsheng 88 sunk on the afternoon of November 12, 40 nautical miles off the coast of Hualai County, Guangdong Province, China. In the course of a full-scale rescue effort, 13 crew members boarded the lifeboat and were rescued. Hope you like this video. If you have any questions or comments, drop it in comments section. Subscribe to MarinAura for more.